everyone, and welcome back to World of Warships Blitz with Terry. And today's entertainment is going to be provided by Arrigo, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, in the Conqueror. This is actually a really old replay that I've had around for a long time and just haven't gotten around to featuring. So, the Conqueror, well, I haven't played this ship because I haven't unlocked her. I think I'm only up to the Queen Elizabeth on the British battleship line. Which means I have absolutely no idea how this thing plays, but it's a battleship and it's British, so the AG is probably going to be decent. It's a top-tier battle on fault line. We see we have Mr. Hunt here on the team. I see what you did there, Sunshine. And it's a carrier battle. 2 destroyers on the enemy team, a Shima and a Kiev. Fault line on base capture. I like this map better if it's in domination, because you can actually, get into the caps and do something useful and outflank, especially with destroyers around. It can often be a bit of trouble, but because look at all these islands, right? So let's see what Arrigo here is up to, and well, he's spawning kind of in the middle, so it has to decide on one flank to go, left or right, because you don't usually want to go center, especially not in a carrier battle. So he's pointing, keeps a keen eye on Mr. Hunt over there. Not related to Ethan in any way. And just heads over to the left flank, which is a good decision because there is a destroyer and a Seattle. So they can probably use some battleship support. Although the Z is going towards the center area, which is brave of him. But usually you'd expect something to come around that corner. If it's a destroyer, the Seattle is actually in the right place to do this because it's got radar and it's got sonar and it's got very rapid firing 150s. So hopefully the Seattle has the armor piercing loaded. But regardless, Arrigo here is heading over towards the flank, and it looks like the other battleship on the team is coming as well. So they've got 4 ships on this flank. And there's the Kiev. Okay, Seattle, that's your job. Oh dear, the Seattle is firing high explosive at him, isn't he? Okay. And it looks like the Kiev is going to be rushing him, which is positively suicidal. Now, the Kiev is very quick, so I don't think this is going to hit, because you're going to have to take some more lead than that. Yeah, these are falling short. But the Seattle is doing the right thing. It's running away, or kiting away from the Kiev. And now the Kiev is moving away from the Seattle, but right into into a British battleship. And at this distance, this is what happens. And the Seattle actually got himself torpedoed by the Kiev. So, okay, shouldn't usually happen to a Seattle, but okay. Now that's the Kiev cleared out. Now they do have 4 ships on this flank, 2 battleships, the Seattle and Mr. Hunt there, who appears to have similar suicidal tendencies to that Kiev that just committed suicide by British battleship. So Arrigo decides to go the long way around. Okay, the Hindi has taken care of the Z, and he goes around the flank. Which is not a terrible decision because the Yamato goes middle, so there is some firepower in the center, and we don't really know yet where all the other enemy battleships are. We know where 2 of them are. Actually, I think we know where 3 of them are. So there's a Hindenburg and 2 battleships on that flank. You see, this is one of the problems when you're taking this route. You actually don't have shots at anything. Now, I'm not sure if the Conqueror could lob this, but I would assume he could at this, but he doesn't. You don't really get a clear lock. I mean, you may as well shoot because you have nothing else to do. Your guns are reloaded by the time you've cleared that island. But yeah, the problem here is that you're going the long way around. So for a minute or 2, you don't really have anything to shoot at. But we're coming around the island, and the Seattle is sticking close, which is always very welcome if cruisers do that, because we do know where the Shima is. The Shima is on the other flank, and it looks like we've lost both destroyers on the other flank, which means that battleship there fortunately has carrier support, but is relatively alone. So fire out. Finally, we're back in the battle. Fire out at the Izumo, and now they are what we would call traditionally outflanked, because there is again the Yamato in the defensive position, and Arrigo and the Seattle have worked their way around it. And look where the Seattle is positioning. The Seattle is actually using the flanking battleship as a shield, and is starting to unload onto the Izumo and setting the Izumo on fire. But in case somebody wants to return fire at the Seattle, well, there's a British battleship in the way, and it's got 60,000 hit points. So at the same time, the Seattle is providing some AA support as well, which is always very welcome. Okay, Yamato takes out the Izumo, And that's one down, which leaves the Freddy over there. And the carrier, unfortunately, seems to have oriented himself this way. It would be probably better to deal with the Shima on the other flank. And there's really no need, because there's quite a bit of firepower over here. But okay, that's double fire on the Freddy. German ships pretty flammable, so he insta-damicons, so hopefully we can set some permafires now. There comes some torpedo bombers. It doesn't look like Arrigo is even making any attempts to dodge them. But yeah, there are fighters, there's a Seattle, and there's a British battleship, yeah. So, well, that's okay, you can tank that. There's one perma on the Freddy. Is the Freddy shooting high explosive at him? Oh dear, oh dear. It's one of those games, isn't it? Yeah, the Freddy's got air torpedoes to dodge. The Shima is nowhere to be seen, which is normal. I mean, you don't see Shimas until it's too late. But yeah, the Freddy is definitely firing high explosive back. Well, that's fortunate. So that's another 2 permafires and a couple of aircraft shot down. Oh, there's the SX, yeah. So the Freddy is probably very, very dead. So that's one more salvo out at the Freddy. Still no sign of the Shima. The Hindi is pushing, but there's a Yamato back there defending. And Arrigo, meanwhile, is just cleaning up here with the Seattle on AA support. And in case the Shima comes by, the Seattle is quite useful. So very well done to that cruiser. Now switches over to the armor piercing against the SX, which makes probably sense because it's a carrier. And still haven't seen any hint of the Shima. But again, you don't usually see Shimas. So the Seattle is unloading, still taking cover behind the battleship, which is exactly the right thing to do for Seattle. And armor piercing out. Can we get a Citadel? Not really, no. But still a decent amount of chunk damage. There come planes coming in. The damage control is off cooldown, just in case that becomes necessary. But yeah, the SX is now on fire from the Seattle, and the Seattle is just unloading on him, as you should. And a couple more shots out. There are more planes coming in. And that's just really free plane kills with the Seattle right next to him. Actually, if you're this close, you might actually get some splash damage from something that yeah, I think the Seattle got a bomb hit there. But yeah, no need to... Okay, he's damage conning it. 40 seconds left. Didn't really have to, but there's a Kurfürst, so back to the high explosive. And set some more fires on the carrier, because against that thing, the armor piercing isn't really going to do that much. Okay, we found the carrier has found the Shima. He's made its way all the way around these islands. Hasn't been super effective in that. And because we haven't lost another ship in the team. So now the Kurfürst retaliates. That's a bit more broadside than I would give, but at 9 km the Kurfürst isn't that accurate. You just don't want to be in range now, in secondary range. Now the game's pretty much over. That was the last salvo. But there's a permafire on the Kurfürst. No point in damage conning that for him, because the game's pretty much over. But that ticks the damage up to a whopping, and I haven't even paid attention. What did we get? An MVP, well deserved for that flanking maneuver. That was pretty nicely done. Lucky though that the enemy team was playing defensive. 109,000 points of damage, 19 aircraft shot down, and 2 ships destroyed. Again, respect to the Seattle, well played, and the Yamato for holding the line back there, which enabled the whole thing. Because if they had both started to push the flank, the enemy team could have pushed through. And things might have turned out differently. But very well played, and yeah, this looks sort of impressive. Things you can do in the Conqueror. Maybe one day I'll play one myself. Anyway, thank you, Arrigo, for sending that one in. And to everybody else, have a good weekend. I'll see you next time. Bye.